So that's one of the filters to a trend system that helps safeguard the account. Now, it doesn't have to turn here. This thing could there's a couple things. One, this thing could just continue down, and then maybe later in the day we get a reversal and then ride the reversal up. Or there's another thing that could happen where what would be a very interesting move would be if this thing shoots up, right? And if there's no move when this, let's say this bar closes and then it just starts coming down and there's no setup, there's no opportunity, right? There's no entry. Then we can take a trade south, but only if there's no opportunity here, because that would signify that this was just a pullback, right? But if there's opportunities that go up, then we don't say that was just a pullback. We say, hey, there was actually some development to the upside. This is just kind of like right now, I don't really know what this is. Right now it is kind of pullbacky, choppy behavior. That could be the theme for a while today. A lot of days can have a certain overall categorization. Maybe it's a trend day, maybe it's a swingy day, maybe it's a V day where there's like a move in one direction, then it turns around and does the other side. But I also believe that, just like any story, the market follows a beginning, middle, and an end, right? There's the morning session that seems to have its own program. The middle is kind of like the lunchtime session. And then the end is like the afternoon, right? And where I focus on is my entries are before 10:45 Mountain, which is basically capturing the whole morning session, is like kind of the entry zone and getting in and maybe starting to write a move. And then the lunchtime, it kind of has its own little program. I don't take any more trades at that point. And then if I'm in a move, then the afternoon is kind of like where I'm wrapping things up, looking for how much more to trail. If I should start to tighten up my trail, or planning my exit basically. The mid-session lunchtime would be just if I'm in a trade, then continuing to trail, or if I didn't get into a trade, then just closing up shop basically. Yeah, based on the way this is all setting up, I mean, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have. We've had so many big moves last week. They might be taking a break today to prepare for October. Historically, the most volatile month of the year, on average, volatility increases by 25% in October. What are your plans for tackling the potential increased activity and any potential major news driven market movements? Is your strategy turned on by volatility or turned off? I guess if you were volatility adverse, you'd probably be doing a lot of fading and a lot of scalping and a lot of like low profit trades but high frequency. I found that it was the easiest to scalp when the market was just mulching around and not directional. Because then, and just kind of like fading through the market. And that's a tough game. I guess it's simple though. But it really, like if you were to fade, like look at this. If you were to fade, these edges, it's a lot of trading. It's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of mental energy and emotional energy. Fading back and forth, fading back and forth. Probably having some sort of I guess you could even do probably like a 1-to-1, like maybe you get in at 28.20, maybe have like a point stop, maybe a 2-point target. I guess you could do 2-to-1 in this situation. If you're a range trader, this is your freaking morning. This is your time to profit. Just fade these tops. I mean, we're in a down market, so the tops would probably be the best to fade anyways. Coming down, pulling back, right? Look at this. It's coming down, pulling back. I would fade these tops. And just keep doing that, 2-to-1, 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 2-to-1. You could do like 3 fucking times. And then you're like, cool. It's been 30 minutes in the day. I think I'm good. Made 6 points. But I would not be surprised if you could put another order in here at 28.20 and probably get out at 26.20 again. You know what I mean? Odds are in your favor because it's happened a lot, and it's less likely for this thing to break out to the top side. Eventually it will, but the odds are that this is going to mill around, a lot, and then maybe get enough oomph to test a side more or whatever, because it's starting to wiggle out, so there's outward expression happening, right? Outward exploration. You just don't know when it's just going to push harder out. But that's not the way that I think. My brain just does not compute like fading the market or range trading. I understand the concept, but I don't it's like very psychologically adverse to the way my thoughts move. My thoughts always move towards what's the direction? Where is it pushing to? Where is it wanting to move out to? You know what I mean? It's like manifest destiny or something. Like, let's get in our wagon and go across the country and build a home for ourselves. Like that makes sense to me. Staying in your hometown doing the same bullshit you did when you're a kid as an adult as when you're senior, and never fucking leaving your hometown, right? I'm like, I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me, right? You know, how does the market connect with who you are? But maybe that's because I grew up in California and I don't really understand California. I mean, it just never really clicked with me. It's a beautiful place, but I think a lot of people get brainwashed into thinking like, "Oh my God, SoCal is the only place to live. Oh man, LA is the only place to live. Oh, the west side of LA is the only place to live. How could you ever live anywhere else?" I'm like, well, it's not that nice. It's actually pretty crappy. There's a lot of stuff going on, but that doesn't make it nice. You know what I mean? So, what I found was when I came out here to Utah, I'm like, Utah is way more magical than California. These mountains are epic. And then the mountains hold Salt Lake City. And Park City is not very far from Salt Lake City. And the mountains hold the biggest ski resort in the country. And it's surrounded by a whole bunch of other amazing ski resorts, all close and connected together in this beautiful mountain. And you got all sorts of lakes, and you've got seasons here. You've got really good snow for skiing. Um, People are so friendly here. In California, everyone's a little bit harsher. They got places to be. They're a little bit stressed out. I don't know. I just think it's way nicer here, and it's very eye-opening to see that there's a lot of other places that are a lot better than I think than just living in California. I think it's easy to get brainwashed living in California. Yeah. Looks like we're getting a big move down. Will it break through the bottom? What's it gonna do? Wow, this is a really sideways morning. Holy moly. Oh man, trend traders must be going ape shit. Not trend traders, ranging. Jeez. Oh man, I guess I'm not really putting on too much of a show right now. Last week was freaking crazy. That would have been an epic show for you guys. Like, how about that Tuesday trend down after the news? This thing, the entrance was around 62.7. This move came all the way down into the low 30s. It was like a 30-point move, dude. That's $1,500 on one contract, and then I have one, and then I add in, that's $3,000 in one day. That would make like 3 weeks. If I can make, well, that's on, well, yeah, that's on like 2 contracts. So. Yeah. Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. I was mostly I've just been hanging out with myself a lot recently. I had plans for visiting family and friends in California, and I decided to cancel them and then just enjoy the autumn here for a bit. And then once autumn's over and it's more into the holidays, I'll go visit fam. But I found it's really nice and important to stay put where you are and connect with your local community. I think local changes and local involvement is really, really important. There's so much going on in LA. It's easy to find people to connect with and collaborate with, but everyone's so busy and connecting with so many different people. It just feels very like it doesn't feel as meaningful, you know? Like you connect with someone, they're like, "Oh, I gotta connect with this dude," and then everyone's so busy. You're just like, are you even a human at that point? And here the communities are so much smaller here that you really feel a lot more noticed and that you matter more and you make a bigger impact in smaller communities. And I think that's, really powerful when you have that influence. It means it means a lot more to the people and it means a lot more to yourself, I find. Yeah. Yeah, sorry folks, does not look like a day where I will be putting on a show. This is not a trend. I repeat, this is not a trend. This is my system preserving me from this to bide its time. So on the days where it does give, and that's why I'm stoked. I'm like, sweet, my system did its job. There was no trend today, and so I stayed out. But of course, this is only the morning. Only the first 40 minutes in. And I keep my ship running for the first 3 hours and 15 minutes of the day. So we'll see what happens. What must you do today in order for you to succeed? What must you do? Yeah, I mean, I think with trading, it's just that is like the crux of it is just following your system. If you don't have a system that you believe in enough to follow, then that's what you must do today, is you must find that system. You must develop that system. You must hone in that system. Do whatever you need to do so that you have a system that you love to death, that you will follow every day until rain or shine. It doesn't matter what the market looks like. You just love that system, and you'll keep honing it in, getting better at it, improving your execution, really giving it the attention it needs. If it needs tweaking, shifting, any kind of changes, really get it dialed in so that when you trade, like you're trading an awesome system that you believe in, and you will do anything to trade it, and anything to not trade outside of it. I honestly feel like that's the key. And I've never heard any trader talk about that. I've never heard any kind of teacher. They all say like trade your system, stick to a system. But they don't say, do you love your system? Whoa. They talk about loving trading. I'm like, cool. But what is trading, right? Trading ultimately, successful trading is trading a system. So it's so weird. Wait, has no one ever connected these dots? Wait a second. Hang on here. If you think about it, loving trading, and if successful trading is trading a system, then that means, you know, by inference, that means you love your system. So if you don't love and what would it take to love a system? Well, your system has to be solid as hell. Because if your system's not solid, then you don't know what you're loving, right? It's kind of like trying to love someone who doesn't know themselves, right? If you don't know who they are, how do you love them, right? If the system's not defined, if you don't know the system, how can you love the system? So the system has to be clear and defined, and it has to be a system you love. You're down with it, you know? And the concept of this system is, we're banking on big moves. We're looking for major moves in the market. I think, meow meow, you want to go outside? You want to go outside, meow meow? All right, there you go. Go, 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 go. Okay. Yeah. So make sure you just do that work. It's so worth it, you know. And if you haven't found that system, if you don't have that system, just what I did was I just surrendered. I was like, you know what? Instead of me trying to hunt this thing down and try to figure it out or whatever, I just open myself up and say, universe, show me what I need to do. Show me the next steps in my journey, right? To bring me in alignment with my trading. And as soon as I did that, I said, like, just show me. I don't want to go and figure out the system, or I don't want to hunt this down. I don't want to like mentalize this, right? Just what do I got to trade? What's the thing that will connect with me that I love? Just, just leave it on my front doorstep. And literally, uh, like the next day, or like within a day or two or whatever, that's when I got a video for dyno trading. And honestly, I had been spending so many years working on scalping and swingy systems and never feeling just not, it just didn't jive with me. It didn't connect with me. Um, and secretly, I want it. Whenever you see those big moving trend days, you're like, I want to capture that. I want that. Oh my God. Like when I was a kid and I'm watching commercials, my parents would say, like, every time a commercial go on, I'll be like, I want that. And the next commercial, I want that. But that was the thing. It was like, it's like I figured out a lot of ways to do scalps and trend. There's a billion ways to make money in the market, but I just didn't connect with it. And because I didn't connect with it, I always never really wanted to trade it, and I'd trade other ways or whatever. You know what I mean? It just didn't. It was not a good fit. But I know secretly, I never acknowledged it. But secretly, I wanted to really capture those big moves. I'm like, how do I do that? How do I capture that big move? And there were trend systems. I just never really looked into them. And so the dyno does a good job of making it very simple. It's like, hey, boo boo, look at this move here. It just moved down. Maybe that's a down signal. It sure is. Look at that. You know what I mean? So, hey, boo boo, here's another down signal. Ride it open. Let's just ride it all the way down. Make good money. Hey, boo boo, it's closed up. It made a big pullback. But then when it came up again, it worked out. Hey, boo boo, how about this big ass 30-point pitch? Motherfucker, check this shit out. Boom. Just took it to the downside like a crazy ass. Dude. Even this one, man. This one popped up early on, had a pullback, continued up, still made a little bit of money. It was a tight one. It was a small one. But even this one, you get out up here, you make 5 points, dude. 30 points, 10 points, or whatever. 10 points, 10 points. You know what I mean? Ah, it makes it so simple. Like this one was super chill. So like, yeah, I'll show you. 24th. This is how the 24th played out. Closes around 62.7. Right. So 62.7. Like right here. It just taps it. Bing! Right? Then it closes back. Right? That's the impulse drive. We get the pullback here. And then it comes down again. We enter here. Our stop is 2 points back at 4.7. Right? It pulls back deeper, knocks us out. That's cool. I understand, dude. You gotta do your thing. It rocks around. This is a deeper pullback, so now when it engages again here, right? We get in. I'm gonna keep my stop further back. To accommodate more ranging swings in the market. I don't want this to chop around and get chopped up, so I want to keep my stop back here, a little deeper. And when I get in again, this thing moves forward. It goes, here's the 2 point mark. At the 2 point mark, I'm like, okay, it hit 2 points forward once, pulls back, stop is still where it is, hits the 2 point mark again. That signifies that we had impulse drive, pullback, didn't work out, deeper pullback, pushes forward, pulls back in the move, and pushes forward a second time, sealing the move forward. Now we can start trailing. Boom, trail. This thing is coming down. Trail, 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 trail. Trail, 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 motherfucker. Trail, 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 motherfucker. Trail, trail, trail. Boom, trail, 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 trail. This shit all the way down. And then once it gets towards around 12, I'm starting to tighten this thing in, starting to look for an exit. Somewhere in here. Mostly 12, between 12 and 3. I look for exits. So somewhere you could get out here. Probably would have gotten out around here. Here. As you trail this down, you get tighter when you get to this zone. If it's loose, this could also come in here. We pull that in there, come in here. But definitely by around 1, I want to get food. So I would exit before 13. So somewhere in here, you exit for anywhere from, this would be 30 points. This would be 20 points. This would be 25. The one more thing I forgot. Okay, so comes down once, comes down again. We start trailing. Now we're looking to add into this position. How are we doing? Looks like we're getting a little bit of a move down. That's cool. Okay, so let's use this thing. We start looking at these pullbacks and follow these pullbacks. What we do is we wait for a bar where the 33%, 1/3 into the pullback, does not overlap with the bar. and then it presses through, and then you enter at the 33 mark. This is highly classified technology. Do not share this with anyone. This is for only spirit trading eyes only. This is how you can succeed at a pullback continuation. Because what happens here is when there's overlap, right, that helps you avoid all this stuff, right? As soon as this clears, now that's a sign that it's pulled back enough. And by not getting in up above this 33, you're giving it room to pull back and do its thing, right? It's got to do it, hop around, do all this kind of stuff. Like look at this one, right? As we pull this back, the 33 is cleared here, but it's chopping around. So if we got in up here, we get chopped around and get messed with. But as soon as this 33, it comes forward, hits this 33, that's the best freaking time to get in. And what's cool is, if you try to get in on the break of this, you can get screwed, right? It can just tap and turn around. What's good about getting into the 33 is you've got 1/3 of the pullback for it to move and make profit. So it can test here, and then you could bring your stop in case, you can bring your stop in, and that still gives it room to wiggle around. Sometimes it wiggles around here before it keeps going. And that allows you to protect your investment if it decides to shoot back and turn at this. Let's look at an example. Move this. Here's an example. Right. It came up here. And you enter here, and then it still moves down through here. It even moved a bit more. But at this point, you can pull in your stuff to protect your profit if this fails, which it did. And then you can try again. Try again. You enter here. It gives it space for it to come down and test. It still kind of struggles or whatever. I mean, this eventually goes down. So let's try to find one that really is game over. A really good game over one. Let's see. Such a strong trend down. Okay. This one. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so this guy. The idea though is we're only doing this though after the market's proving into itself that it's made a significant move in a certain direction. It's been pulling back and pushing forward enough for us to get into a move, and then it pulls back and pushes forward enough for us not only to get into a move in a certain direction, but now we're starting to trail it and see that it's progressing. And so we're in a market that's moving in a certain direction, which would warrant wanting to look for these kind of moves to add in, because that means there's probably going to be a lot of good pullbacks that have good follow through, which is what this requires. Yeah, you can see here on this one, market pulls back, we would enter here. It comes down enough for you to pull in your stop and avoid, see this. What you do is you pull it in tight, right? Because you want it to just blast through this. So that way you can pull this in tight, and then if it doesn't blast through tight enough where your loss is small, but it still has enough room to bounce around. But ideally, it either blasts through or it bounces, right? And that's where it bounced. You just get out with a break even or small loss or something. And then that gives you ammo to try again. This is a pretty big one. Look at this. See how it perfectly pulls back, comes down, even does this little taparoo thing, bounces, blasts down. This gives you a beautiful entry into this here. The 1/3 special. It's a 1/3. The 1/3 magic. 333 magic. Or 33 magic. 33 magic. It's 333 backwards. It's 33.3. That's 33.3. 1/3 into the pullback. You'll never go wrong. You could make a lot of money just with that. You could come up with some special system with just that and make a killing every day. Like, how would you do that in today? Right, let's just, where are we? What planet is this? Wow, look how crazy choppy this is. Alright, let's look at this bad boy. Wow. Chopping. If you were wanting to get a breakout, right, this is your way. Comes up, shoots down, bing. How about this one? Comes up, shoots down, it doesn't really work out, bust out, get out of there. How about this one? You get into this, bring that thing in, oh, doesn't work out, cool. You save your ammo. There's like zero risk on these trades until it breaks out, and then you make cash monies. You could survive a whole frickin' sideways thing. That's how frickin' cool this thing is. Here you go. Comes in here, wiggles around. Do 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 do. You have your stop outside the range. Comes down, fails, you get out. Yeah, I mean, in this, you definitely would have your stop behind the pullback point. Here's one that's happening right now. You get in here. Stop back here once it touches this. Or maybe gets within a tick or so. Um, I would say if it breaks this low, then I would look for it to break downwards. Right after this, I'm going to close up the stream. So I want to get my coffee and my bagel. That's been my enjoyment lately for morning breakfast. Alright, I don't have much time, so if this bar, the bar after this one can close down below here, we'll stay in, otherwise I'll close it up. I don't have time for this. Alright. Gives too little movement. Alright, I'm gonna close it up. Anyways, that's just something you could play around with and see if you could create a system around it. You know what I mean? Alright guys. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful rest of the day trading, whatever you're planning on doing. I believe in you. You're amazing. You have lots of awesome talent and abilities and the power to do whatever you want with your life because it's your life, and to just really own it. Steward the flow. Steward your flow. Be there. Feel the flow of everything that's going on and just own it. All right. See you tomorrow.